Right. So today we had some pretty shitty action. I took three trades, two break even and one halfway winner. I mean, I just took partials and then got stopped at break even. So going into the morning, I'm going to zoom out so you can see why I had a bullish bias, which ended up being wrong. So NQ hits equilibrium of this price range here. That was Monday. Gets displacement up, doesn't quite take this high, and ES doesn't either. So then going into the morning, which is right about here, we had morning news, so I wasn't looking to take anything till after 7. Yeah, so the news was at 7 and I wasn't going to trade before that. So I'm watching this 1 hour fair value gap. I want to see some manipulation and for us to hold this 1 hour fair value gap. So zooming in, we come down, take out this low, zooming in even farther. I think there was an SMT here. This is at 7:30. We'll check ES. Okay, so there wasn't an SMT here. What is this something? Yeah, so there was no SMT here, but I saw just the reaction and I entered half size looking for more structure, but I realized I was early, which I wouldn't have, even though we ended up pushing up here, it wouldn't have, this was gonna be my first take profit, but when I entered just on this small candlestick here. I see us get a move up, hold this 1 minute fair value gap, come down, almost hit my stop. So now we have relative equal lows at the bottom. So I'm thinking this is going to be an AMD model, which it was just on a higher time frame. If you can, it was not an AMD model because it didn't pump, but so I thought this low was going to get swept. So as we came back into this 1 minute bearish fair value gap, I took my position off right here. That was a good call on my part. It wasn't emotional. It was simply logical after I saw these equal lows here. I'm not not mad at that trade. I'm glad I took half size and recognized what price was doing as it was feeding me data. So then we're pretty choppy. We're just generating sell side and buy side. So we put in a new buy side level and we have all this resting sell side. So I'm predicting us to come down and take this low one more time. So we take it and I take a long. I entered this with my full size. I was expecting this to be soup. So I entered two contracts right here. Or no, I entered two contracts right about here and I entered two more right up here. So my fill was about here. We start to get some movement up, but I see us starting to put these lows in, lows in, lows in. And at the time I'm watching ES. ES is right here. So I know that ES wants to take this low. There's nothing holding ES up and possibly even this low. So I'm watching to see when this low gets taken because I know it at least wants this low. Forms equal lows and then eventually takes it. Now once it takes it, we have an SMT here. And we get a little move up. I entered here. And I entered my full size. And we started to get some movement up. Now, so I was in 4 contracts and then I entered one last contract here, and I'll explain why. So I had this marked out as a turtle soup because I know that if with these lows here, I know, and at this point, once we come down into this fair value gap and get displacement up, my stop is at break even because if we come if we come and run through my break even stop, we're running these lows. So that was a decent stop to break even. But once my stop was at break even, I also knew we shouldn't go much lower than these lows here. Especially we have this inverse fair value gap here. We have this is a 3-minute order block. So I added one contract there. So I was in 5 and my stop was at break even, which was about here. I'll mark that out. So I never got stopped out until my first and second TP got hit, which the second TP technically didn't get hit. So we come up, hit my first TP, one contract off there, and I literally caught the top of this because we come up here, we accumulate, take the highs, ES doesn't take the high, SMT, and I've been burnt so many times where we consolidate next to my price target. So I took it off right here. I'm glad I did that, but unfortunately the rest of my contracts got stopped at break even there. So I'm up about $80 on the day. Oh, it doesn't say anymore. Yeah, $80. I'm technically at an all-time high on my eval, which I'm about $10 above my all-time high. So yeah, that's about, oh, and we ended up selling off. So my bias was completely wrong, which is okay. I still capitalized and was able to take the internal model, and I'm glad I took the low-hanging fruit here. So yeah, that's all for today.